What's up, guys? This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions, and today this is Monday Morning Hangover. Good morning, guys. This is Eric again with another video, and today we do this every Monday morning from 10 a.m. for about a half an hour. We get up here, we do a little talking here, we talk about what's going on and everything. I want to welcome everybody to the stream. If you are here right now checking this out, you could give me a thumbs up, let me know you're here. Also, you can leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about the stream. Now, with every stream, I like to talk about this. And let me get out of here. I know I want to talk about my New Orleans Saints for a second, but before I go into anything here, I want to kind of go over some of the ways you can um, leave a comment on the live stream. Okay, so on the live stream, if you're using the app, you can't leave a comment if you are live. If I'm live, you can't use the app. You have to go to the desktop version of YouTube, which you just have to go to youtube.com. You got to go to the desktop. You got to request a desktop. And once you request a desktop, go to youtube.com and all that good stuff and find my video live. Go to EAZY Computer Solutions and you could see my video live and make a comment. So I like to talk about that every live event. And the reason why is because I get a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that say that they can't leave comments when I do these live events. So that you could go ahead on to do that and be no problem. Okay. So early morning, here we go. We got to get us our coffee in, and this broadcast is brought to you by here. Take your sip. Let's do some talking here. So every Monday morning we talk about what happened over the weekend, and we talk about sports and all that stuff like that. And you know, as you may know, I always try not to do too much ranting, but today gonna be a lot of ranting. So if you are in the stream, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube later on, so it's no big deal. Of course, everybody knows I'm a New Orleans fan. I'm from New Orleans. I talk about the New Orleans Saints. I give my predictions and all that stuff like that. And we're gonna talk about some tech stuff. But look, I'm definitely disappointed at the Saints. I mean, come on, if you're a sports fan, even if you're not a sports fan, you gotta be disappointed at the New Orleans Saints. I mean, come on, right now we 1-4. We lost the game yesterday to the Eagles, and I mean we looked at terrible. I mean we had freaking 4 turnovers. Drew Brees threw 2 interceptions. I mean the team wasn't energized. I mean we sucked really bad yesterday. I mean without a doubt, first quarter. Look, the first quarter we looked good. I mean we got us a touchdown. And I mean, everything looked it on the up and up. I mean, the first quarter was great, but after that, man, it was downhill. And so, the Saints to me is something that I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, I understand that we have new players. Look, I understand that the Sean Payton and Drew Brees and stuff like that took us to the Super Bowl. But listen, it's like this: it's what have you done for me lately? And right now, the New Orleans Saints looking really, really bad. And not only that, look at this. I mean, we're 21st in the division with points, yardage. Drew Brees always do a lot of yardage, passing yardage and stuff like that. So yards is not an issue. Pass yards, rush yards is 29th. I mean, look, here's the thing. And I know I rant about this a lot, and I'm just being real. The New Orleans Saints look bad. And you can leave a comment down below. And I know I talk about a lot of teams, but man, it's one of them things that you know we I don't know what else to do. But here's the thing: a lot of sources say that the Dolphins is inquiring about want to talk to Sean Payton. Look, that's our coach. I like Sean Payton. He's a good coach, and a lot of people trying to kick him out of town. I'm not at that point yet. I am definitely not at that point yet. I don't think that Sean Payton will be a good fit for the Dolphins. I think Sean Payton needs to be right here in New Orleans. So now I'm not ready to kick the coach out. I'm ready to kick the defensive coordinator out. I mean, I can't understand why we still keep Rob Ryan in here. Listen. Here's the thing. Our defensive coach is terrible. I mean, our defense been bad for the last 2 years, 3 years, and there's no way that you keep the defensive coordinator around when you have such a bad coordinator. And I think that for the most part, Sean Payton just need to hang around a little while. I think we gonna be all right with Sean Payton, but our defense now. Um, the Cowboys lost yesterday. Well, everybody knew the Cowboys was gonna lose yesterday. Come on now, you didn't think the Cowboys was gonna go beat New England, guys? Come on. So let's go and talk about some scores here. The Colts, guys. Let's see. We got the Colts beat the Texans. Still, that's another terrible team. By the way, if you didn't know, you think New Orleans is bad, but man, the Texans are terrible. I think the Texans is better than the Saints right now, but man, as you can see, the Colts beat the Texans yesterday. The Bears beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, man, I tell you what, the Chiefs is a pretty good team, but they've just been falling to a lot of unfortunates. So they lost by 1 point to the Bears. Look at this, guys. This is nobody saw this coming. The Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks has lost 3 games. 3 games this year. The Seattle Seahawks has lost 3 games. So that is pretty interesting. That is interesting to see the Seattle Seahawks losing. So yeah, there you go. Look, here we go. The Falcons, guys. In our division, Falcons is now 5-0. They beat the Redskins yesterday. And so, believe it or not, we play the Atlanta Falcons in the Superdome this Thursday night for Thursday Night Football. Oh, man, this is going to be a tough one to swallow right here because with the momentum of the Falcons right now, I just think that they're going to kill us. All right, so the Buccaneers beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, for Jacksonville, they haven't been a good team for a long time, so that's expected. And again, the Eagles beat the Saints, and the Browns beat the Ravens. Look, this was one of the ones that's shocking too. The Baltimore Ravens, guys, is sucked this year. With a 1-4 record. And then we have the Tennessee Titans lost to the Buffalo Bills. And of course, the Packers beat the Rams. I mean, look, the Packers right now is playing real good ball. They 5-0. I mean, they can't be beat right now. I mean, they looking real good. And the Cardinals, look, the Cardinals putting 40 points up on everybody this year. So that's definitely going to be a one to watch. Even though they got one loss, that don't mean anything. And of course, the Lions, they haven't won a game. The poor Lions, And look at that Cowboys, man. Cowboys only got 2 field goals out this whole game. I mean, look, let's be real. Anybody that thought the Cowboys were going to beat the Patriots was smoking something. So yeah, no way. And the Raiders, hey, Raiders been playing pretty good, but come on, they're going against Peyton Manning. So I could tell you that was a predictable loss. And the Giants beat the 49ers. Hey, listen, the 49ers came back in this game. I'm gonna tell you something. I watched this game. And look, the quarterback Kaepernick, man, look, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I watched this guy play yesterday. He started getting hot in the fourth quarter, but man, this guy was playing terrible football through the whole thing. So I don't know, man. Something going on in 49erville right now. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over the sports scores and talk a little bit about the Saints. And if you're watching this stream on YouTube or you're watching the stream live, it's you understand my frustration after being a Saints fan, and every time you see one of my videos, I talk who that and all that stuff like that, and all of a sudden you see, hey, let me look at that, we suck. So yeah, that's I just wanted to kind of bring that up. Let's get out of here. Okay, so let's go down and take us a sip of this hot coffee. All right, so uh, last week Microsoft had their week, and I had a video about it. I talked about it on my live stream Saturday, and it came out with the three, the they came out the tablet, which is the Surface Pro 4, and they came out with the Surface Book, and they came out with the new phones. Now, a lot of people listen. Let me tell you something about the difference. And I get this question a lot, and this look for my college students. So people always ask me, are there alternatives to buying a computer? Cause see, right now, look, technology changed. I'm gonna tell you, I'm new school, and I'm here on this channel to help people. And one of the things that people always ask me is about computers. Could I go through college without getting a PC? Now it all depends on what you're taking. Now, if you take computer courses and kind of high end graphic design and coding and stuff like that, yes, you need a PC. But if you go to school for stuff that you got to write a lot of research papers, and you don't need, all you're doing is doing research papers and doing a lot of reading, book reading and stuff like that. No, you don't need a PC for that. And I watched my video. I actually took an iPad or Android tablet. You could put a wireless keyboard on it, and with Android tablets, you could put a mouse on it. And when you do that, I mean, you have yourself a full-fledged computer. Now let's get the monkey out the room here. Yes, we know that Android and Apple use what's called mobile operating systems. We know this already. Everybody knows this already. But when you have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel on a tablet that's powerful enough to do Word, Excel, PowerPoint, then yes, you can use those tools at your discretion. So the question is, can you use an iPad to get work done? Yes, you can. Listen. I've done tutorials, videos on iPads and tablets on how to get work done. And, I can show you again real quick because I want to go through some other stuff. Let me get my iPad and I'm going to show you. Now, here's my iPad. Okay. And what I do with this iPad is you can get a lot of work done. I got a wireless keyboard, which is a Bluetooth keyboard, and I have apps. I got a lot of my business apps, and also I have Word. OneNote is real good. OneDrive. I got Excel, and I got Word. So the question will always remain, and also you got Google Docs. All right. So for a college student, and just kind of give you an example, and because I like to always talk about this, because a lot of people always have these questions about, can you do work on an iPad? And if you got this type of setup, and look, here's the thing. I always say, if you're going to do all your work on an iPad or Android tablet, make sure you got a good cloud. And I use OneDrive, and my OneDrive, I got 2 or 3 terabytes of space. You could use Dropbox. These two here is, to me, is your main source. Now look, Dropbox going to give you maybe about a gig or 2 gigs or 3 gigs of space. But if you're doing research paper, that's fine. Also, you could download Google Docs, Google Drive. And if you got Google Drive, that's cloud. Now let's talk about the cloud for a second. If you got a phone, just say you got your phone, and I recommend this a lot on the phones a lot. And you got a lot of photos and stuff like that. If you go to your Google, if you go to your OneDrive, all right, and I got OneDrive here, and what you could do is it automatically uploads all your photos to the cloud. So what happened is, if I take photos on my phone, and when you hit Wi-Fi, it's going to automatically upload your photos to the cloud. Then I could go to my iPad, hit OneDrive, and I could see all my photos that I took from my phone to my OneDrive, easy spleasy. Now that's the same thing with when you're doing documents. Just say you did a document, a paper, stuff like that, and let me make sure here, cancel out. All right, so right here, get this in the video. And I talked about this a lot here. Just say you're a college student, you got to do research papers and stuff like that. Now, you could create an outline. I mean, it gives you templates on a whole lot of things to do, even with resumes or business papers and stuff like that. But, and I talked about this a lot, but I got a lot of college students always ask, can you get work done? And I'm going to tell you, you can. If you do a lot of research papers, a lot of reading, yes, you could get work done. Now, you got to remember, this is a mobile OS. And 9 times out of 10, mostly 95 to 98% of almost everybody either got an Android tablet or an iPad. It don't matter if you got an iPad Air 2, iPad Air 1, iPad Air. Look, if you got an iPad Air, iPad 4, iPad 3, you could do the same thing. Okay, so it's not the point of if it's old or new or whatever like that. Leave a comment down below. I could tell you, one of the things you can do, you get work done. This is a test. See, I mean, keyboard works fast. It works flawless, and so it works good for the most part. And again, you can blow this up as big as you can. Look, here's the thing. Just say, for instance, you can select all, and you want to go to a different font. Go as big as you want. All right, so now I made it bigger. And you could also, let's go down and select all again. You could also change the way you want it to look. And also, you could add color to it. So I'm just doing this test here so you can see that you can get work done. Now I change it to red. Now, these are some of the things that a lot of people always protest about. Look, and I'm going to highlight that. And there you have it. So if you're doing a paper and you need to do some highlighting or something like that, you could get work done. And look, so that's that. And let me show you a little something else. Well, OneDrive. OneDrive, you could pretty much, I mean, OneNote. Let me go to OneNote. Let me show you some stuff that I used to do here. Just make sure I don't have those. I don't want none of my sensitive information here exposed. Let me get this out the way for a second because I use OneNote a lot. And I'm gonna show you something spectacular with OneNote. And what I started using OneNote a long time ago. What a lot of my and it's loading some stuff. And I use OneNote a lot. If you got a Surface Pro 3 or Surface 3 or something, you can use the pen to get some stuff done. So what I'm saying is that yes, you could get work done. Definitely could get some work done. All right, so it's loading some of my documents, and Look, I did all this. I wrote all this down here on my Surface Pro using ink pen. Now, I know my handwriting isn't that great, but I just wanted to kind of give you examples of some of the things you can do. Basic electronics. Yeah, I mean, it's some of the things you can do to get work done. And trying to see if I could get here, show you guys some things. So at the end of the day, with OneNote, you could get some work done. And I think the reason why it's taking so long here is because I look, I have a lot of things on my OneNote. Um, and you could do the same thing you could do in Word, you could pretty much do here. Um, and this also syncs across all your devices. So if you have OneNote on your iPhone, iPad, anything, you could get sync this up with all your devices, and you could get work done. And that's the purpose of this, guy. The purpose of me doing these videos and stuff like that is to get work done. That's it, pretty much. So I let's kind of get out of that. But so for the most part, um, the question is, can you get work done?
Who, me?
And thank you, Siri. And Siri does a good job also. All right. I can leave that in the shot. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments below. Um, if you have any questions about some of this stuff. And you got to remember technology. It gets a lot of things that people don't like to tell you about technology. But for the most part, I mean, it is what it is. And talk about some of the videos I had this week. Look, for all the parents out there, for all the parents out there, I did a video that's called Parental Control. And what that does, and I talked about this Saturday, look that video up, and it's a recent video I just did. If your son or daughter has an iPhone or an Android phone, and you notice that they're downloading all kinds of in-app purchases and stuff like that, and your bill is going up, and you don't understand why you get charged on your credit card for all kinds of apps and stuff like that. Watch my video. I showed you how to fix that, how to cancel that out. And I know I talked about that. I'm gonna talk about this real briefly. So you got your iPhone, and what you need to do is you need to get your teenage iPhone. Just get it out of them. It don't matter what version. If you run iOS 9, it don't matter if you running iOS 8. And what you want to do is you go to your settings, and you want to go scroll down to general. And when you get to general, you want to go to restrictions. Once you go to restrictions, you want to enable restrictions, put your code in. Okay. Once you put your code in, you want to go, you see here, all these things that's checked off in green. What this does is this says you turn off Safari. If you turn off Safari, your child, which teenager or whoever have the phone, cannot go online. If you turn off the camera, they can't go online. If you turn off Siri and dictation, they can't use Siri, and so on and so forth. Now, I know the number one thing that a lot of people always have problems with is FaceTime. If you on a limited data, or if you have 3 or 4 gigs of data and you let your child use FaceTime on the data, 3 gigs will be gone in 2 days, because teenagers don't understand that when they're not in Wi-Fi, they use FaceTime, and when they use FaceTime on your data, it goes through data like it's no tomorrow. So if you have a limited data plan with about 3 gigs or 2 gigs or 5 gigs, and your child, your teenager, is on the plan, is using FaceTime in public without Wi-Fi, say goodbye to that data. So you can always go into the restrictions and turn it off. And then if they want to use it, hey, listen, get the phone from them, put your code in, and turn it back on. But I promise you, you want to save data, you want your bill to go down, turn off FaceTime. And also, you have your Apple Music, your iTunes. So when they got the new Drake song that comes out, or the new Meek Mills, or stuff like that, your child go in the App Store, they buy it. Well, how you stop it? Well, you go here, you put your code in. Now remember, this is your code. This is not your child code. Now they got the fingerprint scanner. Even with the fingerprint scanner, they can't break the code unless they get it from you. And so what you want to do is go to the App Store, turn it off. News, it look, install it or deleting apps. You can turn that off. Also, you could do ratings. You can change the ratings, and that's for the United States. Uh, TV shows, movies. You can, if you want your child to only watch G-rated movies, then you could change it to that. Also, you can go to websites. You can limit it adult content. So Billy that likes to go on the porn sites all the time, you can go on and specify which website that you want them to go on, or you could turn off that porn that Billy keep on going on. So this is some of the things that may help. So that's for the iPhone. All right. So on Android is a little different, guys. So let's talk about Android for a second. If you're running the latest operating system, which is Android Lollipop, you want to look. I said this in my last video, and watch my video. I have a whole tutorial. This everything I'm talking about right now. I did a video of it already. If you go here, you don't have nowhere you could monitor your kids. So what you want to do is go to your Google Play Store. All right. So we can go find the Google Play Store. And I got a whole video about this. And as soon as I find the Google Play Store, I'm going to show you guys. It's one of these apps. So let's go. Let me find the Google Play Store because I'm behind the camera. It's kind of hard to see. But let's go to the Google Play Store and right there. All right. So when you go to the Google Play Store, right here at the top, right there by Google Play, it's these 3 lines. You click that and you get to your settings and stuff. Well, you hit your settings, and right at the bottom, you have what's called parental control. When you click that, you got apps, games, movies. Well, first of all, you got to turn on parental control. It's going to ask you for a password. Now, again, put in your password. It's going to be a specific password. You put that in. And then you go down to your apps, movies, and stuff, and make the appropriate settings there so nobody won't download any app, any inappropriate movies and stuff like that. And music, especially music. If you don't want your son or daughter to listen to explicit music, then there you go. So there you have it. Just kind of give you a little tutorial on that. Now, I've done videos on this already, so you can check them out on my channel. All right, so let's take us a sip of the good stuff. Okay, so also last week I talked about some of my Q&A. Look, I get a lot of comments through the week, and I answer all my comments. Right now, I'm averaging literally 50, 60 comments a week, but I answer all of them. And what was so surprising this week is that when I checked my analytics, I found, and this is interesting, it's kind of like to share this with you guys and kind of get an overview here, that, and this is funny, and I'll get this up here in a shot in a second. right here. This is funny. I got 63% of females that watch my videos. And this is strange because when I first started this channel, it was about 80% male and 20% female. So I have about 63% female that watches my channel. That's pretty awesome. So the pie graph is pretty big here. You know, that's yeah, that's pretty awesome. But yes, I get a lot of comments throughout the week. I see you in the stream, Black Cat, 60 comments a week. Look, I'm gonna tell you, and I think I showed this Saturday. Watch my videos. I did a live video Saturday, and one of the things I did in my Q&A is I talked about that. And look, I see you here, Black Cat. I want to give a shout out to Black Cat. I know you watch a lot of my content. I want to give you a thumbs up here. But yeah, if you look at that, these are all the comments I pretty much get throughout the week, and I answer all these comments. Yeah, 60 comments a week. Yep. So thank you for watching my stream. Give me a thumbs up. If and I'm gonna give you a thumbs up here for watching my stream. And I know uh give you a thumbs up. All right. Thank you. Welcome. Listen, I do this every Monday morning, by the way, Black Cat, and you know, I do this every Monday morning. I know it's early in the morning, from 10 to maybe about 10:30, 10:40. I always get up here and I talk about what happened throughout the weekend and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, yeah, 60 is, yeah. Look, I've had some weeks that I get more than 60 comments a week, and I get a lot of comments, and I answer all these comments. And these comments, it was last week. Um, and it's amazing. But I answer all my comments, So yes, these are all the comments I had this in 1 week. So hopefully I answered your question. 60 comments, yes. Uh, Thank you very much. And I talked about this Saturday, when I had my live video, is that I'm a new YouTuber, and a lot of, if you didn't know, I started this channel about 3 months ago, and hey, look, my channel, I just wanted to give nothing but positive stuff like that, and if you watch my what you call about oh wow, I want to say about a week ago, I had busted 1,000 subscribers. So today I'm at 121 subscribers, and hey, listen, all I do is I just give information and stuff like that, and just be here for people, to help people, because look, these devices ain't cheap, and a lot of people don't understand how this works. You got to remember that the way carrier do things is totally different. Carriers, what they do is they tell you, oh, you can get the phone for free, and oh, you pay $1 here, $1 there. Let me tell you something. These phones cost 600, 700, $800. Look, think about this for a second. The Galaxy S6 Edge Plus 32 gig version, with all the bells and whistles, when you buy the case and the screen protector and stuff like that, with tax, go cost you almost $1,000. Let's be real, and that's what it costs. Like, I mean, what it's $749. You gonna pay $50 for the case, another $30 for the screen protector, plus tax. That's $1,000. Let's be real. Let's be real. Now, the next big, look, all the phones for 2015 is for the most part been released. Now we got OnePlus supposed to be coming out with another phone, but I haven't talked about OnePlus One on this channel. Is because the reason why is because you can't get the phone. I mean, it's an invite system. I mean, it sucked pretty bad. So I don't talk about that 1+1 and the 1+2 and all that stuff like that, it's because I mean you can't get the phone. So why talk about a phone you can't get? They got this terrible invite system. I mean, look, matter of fact, I am on the invite system, and I'm 100,000 people or 200,000 people in the queue. So and that's like 2 months ago. 1 month ago when the 1+2 came out, I went the day of the release, and I so I could do the pre-order. And unfortunately, you can't. You have to get via invite, and I'm not that popular. So I mean, with a look, I only got 1,000 subscribers, and I got 100 videos. So look, I'm not that popular. So only the popular tech reviewers get those devices. I'm not there yet. But again, I'm not bought out by the industry. Of course, I keep my channel real, so I don't ever think that I will get those type of deals, because I don't sway to give people favorable reviews. If you got a phone that suck, I will tell you it sucked. And so that's why I think that nobody would give me those type of devices. Now, I did a video on the Note 5, my 1 month review with the Note 5. Check that video out. You're gonna be very surprised about what I did with the Note 5. It's not good. So check that video out. I did that video last week. Also, I got my 1 month review with the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus coming out. You're gonna like that video. Look, that video gonna be nice, sweet. So be on the lookout for that video. Man, let's take another drink here. Just look, if you don't drink Starbucks coffee, man, this is like the best coffee. Look, I drink my coffee black with a little sugar, and I put cinnamon in it, and it gives it that unique taste. And I get dark roast because I want the boldness. Because we had a long weekend without New Orleans Saints losing and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I drink my coffee black, sugar, and a little cinnamon, and it tastes great. All right. So, so this week I got that, and also I got some comparison videos coming out with the iPad versus iPad. I got those videos coming out because we're getting ready for the iPad Pro. Now, a lot of people asking me about the iPad Pro. I'm gonna tell you, here's my honest opinion. Listen to me, guys. The iPad Pro 32 gig costs $799. Now, I don't know what Apple was smoking, but I can tell you that for $799, you could get a Surface 3 for $499, and that's a full-fledged computer. You could get all kinds of stuff. You got to remember the iPad Pro, guys, is going to be a mobile OS. It's definitely, I just don't see, man, I don't see why spend that type of money on an iPad. Now, I would tell you, if you go get an iPad, get the iPad Air 2. Save you that money and get the iPad Air 2. So let's take a peep at this here. Let's take a peep at this. All right, so here we go. This is the iPad Pro. It's coming out in November. All right. So it's a 12.9-inch screen with a mobile OS. It has the A9X processor in it, which this is an ARM-based processor, and this is a mobile OS processor. It has the iPad Air sleek design, style design, right? So if you got the iPad Air 2, it's just going to be a bigger version of the iPad Air 2, 12-inch. Also, it's going to have 4 speakers. Well, I mean, for $799, they got to give you something, right? So 4 speakers, and they got an optional smart keyboard. Now, when it says optional, I think the keyboard costs like $169, $179 or something. Now, it also has the optional pencil, which is a stylus That costs $99. Look, I did a video about this already. And I get a lot of people on Twitter asking me about this, and I'm gonna tell you, I I haven't put my hands on one yet, and believe me, you're gonna see that this iPad Pro on this channel, and I maybe I might eat crow, but I've been bashing this since the keynote address, and I gave you my rant. I did a rant video about this already, but yeah, I mean, what's new? 12.9-inch iPad. They could say iPad Pro, but I mean, what's pro about it? You know, this I just don't understand why they put a mobile OS on it. Now, I could tell you if they did put the Mac operating system on it, with El Capitan, then we'll be talking about something. But nah, this is look, Apple largest mobile device. 70 The iPad Pro offers 78% more screen real estate than the 9.7-inch iPad Air 2. Now, look, don't get me wrong. If you want a big iPad, look, that's something you can get. Now, I can understand if you wanted a bigger iPad. All right, so that if your whole thing is say, okay, I want a bigger iPad, then this is a great device for you. All right, but if you just looking to say, I want a bigger iPad because I want something different, then this is not the device for you. So let's see if I can click on here and
with the way you use it. iPad has always been uniquely immersive. To amplify this, to put it on a much larger scale, we designed iPad Pro.
now this is iPad Pro.
It begins with a 12.9-inch
I mean, now look at that. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful device, but look at it. It's an iPad.
78% more screen area. iPad Pro not only transforms your viewing experience, it enables new ways of creating and sharing. To give multi-touch a greater level of precision,
And
we completely re-engineered the touch subsystem.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you all of this stuff here, man, but that's the thing you gotta think about here, you know what I'm saying? It's they see all that propaganda. Okay, so let's stop this for a second. When anytime a company tells you all kinds of 5.6 million pixels and it gives you a lot of tech specs and stuff like that, a lot of if you're not a tech geek like me and stuff like that, that stuff don't mean anything. When they go to telling you about all the tech specs, and 90% of the average consumer don't know anything about these tech specs and stuff like this. This is one of the reasons why I tell you that I try to be real on this channel. It's because that all this is a iPad Air 2 with beefed up specs and a larger display. Basically, that's all this is. Now, they could talk about the A9 processor and all that stuff like that, but at the end of the day, guys, and they say, "Oh, we put 4 speakers in there." Now, the iPad Air 2 has a lot. It's very loud, and and see all this stuff you could do here. You could do this the same thing, and this is the pencil. All that stuff, moving apps around and stuff like that. With iOS 9 on the iPad Air 2, you could do the same thing. You could move the screen around and stuff like that. But you see this pencil, and I'm gonna go on and let that run. That pencil costs $99, and you see all of this stuff here. You could do this with an iPad Air 2. So it's really, and it's the same design. Now they got the speakers there, and they talk about the 4 speakers. And I mean, yeah, for the most part, if you're a gamer, I don't know how if you go hold out this big old thing in your hand. If you go game, this thing is huge, but you're gonna cover it up. You see how he got his hand down there? So two of the speakers you go cover up. Let's be real with that. The two speakers at the top, that's the only two speakers you're gonna hear. But the two speakers at the top, now here they talk about the optional keyboard. Now this keyboard, if you have a Surface Pro 3, somehow look like to me, this is kind of mimicking the Surface line. And so they have the pins there and stuff like that. But what I don't like about this keyboard is that you can't angle it. You have one angle with the keyboard. So let's hang on. Let's go back for a second. And I know they talked about this keyboard, but that keyboard, and look, that's iMovie. If you watch my video, I did this iMovie thing with the iPad Air 2. And so all of this stuff you're watching right here can be done on a normal iPad. With no hiccups, no hesitation. So I just don't see with the price tag, and I know they talked about this here, and they talked about the pencil. Now I don't have a lot of people mimicking that this thing costs $100 for no eraser, but this is one of the things that I don't like here. Now this keyboard, it's only a one angle keyboard, and so your iPad sit at one angle, which I don't like that too much. I like to kind of have a different kind of angles for the most part. But all right, so here we go, pricing, guys. Oh man, look, start out at $799 for 32 gigs. Now, by the time you get the iPad Pro, you won't have 32 gig. You have about 16 gig. I mean, I'm sorry, but about 26 gigs. Okay. And this is Wi-Fi only for $799. All right. And for the 128 gig Wi-Fi only is $949. Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. We talking about $949 for a Wi-Fi only iPad with 128 gigs. Don't get me wrong, 128 gigs is a lot. But man, for $949, and check this out. If you want 128 gigs cellular, it's gonna cost you $1,079. Now, to me, I don't know if Apple have fell out and bumped their head and everything, but for $1,079, man, that's a lot of money for an iPad. Man, come on, think about that for a second. We talk about a mobile OS. You could get a MacBook Air for cheaper than $1,000. Listen, you could listen to what I'm saying here. You could get a MacBook Air for under $1,000, and that runs a real operating system. You could get a Microsoft Surface Pro 3, 128 gigs with a real operating system on it for what, $800? And so here we go with the accessory, $99 for the pencil and $169 for the keyboard. So if you do the math, you're talking about 11, 13, 14, $1,400 plus tax. You're talking about, man, $1,400. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money for an iPad. $1,400. Look, I could get a MacBook Pro for $1,400 for 128 gigs. Let's be real. So yeah, I got this from MacRumors.com. And so in November, which is another month from now, we go get this device. And once we get it, Easy Computer Solutions will try to get a review unit or try to get a unit to review. Now, am I going to keep that review unit, or am I going to go out here and buy a personal unit? I have to wait and see. Wait till I get the review unit. And once I get the review unit, we're going to talk about it. And, go from there. All right, so Black Cat in the stream, what do you think is better, computer, Windows, Linux, or Apple? All right, now that's a good question. For the average consumer, and I'm going to answer your question, for the average consumer, look, a lot of people, if you're not a business professional or whatever, a lot of people usually get Windows PCs. All right. So, all right, let's take Linux out of it. All right, Linux for pure geeks. So we're not going to talk about Linux because Linux. If you say Linux, then you know a little bit about Linux. Linux is for geeks, in my opinion, because that's not in the masses, and you can't get Linux in a retail store. But for the most part, it all depends, man, because it's like, look, I got a MacBook Pro and I got a Surface Pro 3, and I'm gonna tell you, to me, the Surface Pro 3 is to me is a lot more, is a little better than a MacBook Pro. I get a lot of work done on my Surface Pro 3, okay? And so for the most part, yeah, I mean, I would tell you for the average consumer, I would tell you go with Microsoft, go with a Windows PC. But if you have an iPad or if you're in the Apple ecosystem, then go with Mac. It all depends on how much money you want to spend. Now let's talk about that for a second. Now you know the Surface Pro 4 been introduced in the Surface Book. Now when we talk about Surfaces and stuff like that, these are Windows devices made from Microsoft. All right, so let's look at the prices here. In my opinion, if you could get a Surface Pro 3 at $600 or whatever, that's the way to go. All right, Surface Pro 3 at a very discounted price, I will go Surface Pro 3. Surface Pro 4, $899 is not a bad price for what you get. Nah, don't get me wrong. You still got to buy the keyboard, but you could put any Bluetooth keyboard to the Surface. All right. Now the Surface Book. Now you see $14.99 here. You like, man, that's too high. But this is a different league here. All right. We talk about dedicated graphics. We talking about a high-res screen. We talk about a laptop with a detachable keyboard and stuff like that. This is a totally different monster here. All right. Now look, I'm in love with the Surface Book. All right. But I understand. $14.99 is a lot. So it brings me to the Surface 3. And look, college students, the Surface 3, not the Surface Pro 3, is a good buy. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because first of all, it's made by Microsoft. It will continue to get Microsoft updates, and it's a great computer. Now it's running the new Atom processor, and stuff like that. Okay, but yes, Black Cat, you saying gaming computer? Ooh, man, I tell you what. Um, Now they have a lot of gaming PCs out there right now, but look, most of your gaming PCs will cost you over $2,000 for good gaming laptops that has dedicated graphics. Now, most of the gamers like to have desktops because of the cooling situation. Look, most of your high end gamers is going to have desktops because they like to have the liquid cool, they like to have the fans, they like to have the pretty design case, they like to have the high res monitor, they run stream games and stuff like that. Look, Windows is the ultimate way to go with gaming. You're not gaming on Mac. I mean, come on, let's be real. Now Apple is trying to get people to get into the gaming but for the most part, you're gaming on Windows, without a doubt. I mean, that it's I don't Mac Apple hasn't caught up to the gaming industry yet. So if you're going to game, you go game on Windows because you're going to go to do all your gaming is going to be on Windows. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Can you game on a Surface Book? Let's all right. So let's look at some of the specs here. And then look, most of your gaming PCs is going to be uh, if you don't build it yourself, it's going to be expensive. Now, here we go. 512 Core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and a dedicated GPU, and it's out of stock because I guess everybody didn't bought it. $26.99. And a lot of people might flip out, but here's the thing. When you talk about an i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 512, now that's solid state drive now. Solid state drives are expensive. Those are the fast drives and stuff like that. And you talk about full flash keyboard and a high res screen, 300 by 200 resolution. So yes, it's expensive, man. I mean, but most of your gaming PCs is expensive too. Now, yeah, you might say it's a laptop, but they got laptops that cost over $2,000. I mean, you got MacBook Pros that cost over $2,000. So, for the most part, I mean, they got a 256 i7 with 8 gigs of RAM, but I mean, 16 gigs of RAM is the way to go. When you're saying 16 gigs of RAM, you're talking about doing graphic designing. You're talking about doing video editing and stuff like that. I mean, this is the way to go. Look, anybody that does video editing and graphic designing and stuff like that, you ain't doing that on a $300 computer. Let's be real. Let's look. Let's get the monkey out the ring. If you a high-end gamer, if you do video editing, if you do a lot of high-end software, all right, we're not talking about the average consumer. We talk about people that make videos like me and graphic design and doing photoshopping and stuff like that. You're not doing that on a cheap computer. It's just not going to happen. You need a powerhouse to do that type of stuff. So people always say, well, I don't need all that stuff like that. Well, you're not the one you're not doing this type of stuff. All right. If you're just doing research papers in college and stuff like that, look, you don't need this type of power. But if you are a person that does high-end gaming, all right, and high-end stuff, then you need a PC, and it's gonna cost you $2,000. Let's be real. If you got a desktop, and you do high-end stuff on the desktop, and you need dedicated GPUs, you need 16, 32 gigs of RAM, and a Core i7 processor. Look, you're doing a lot of high-end intensive stuff. You're not doing that with a $300 PC. All right. So I always like to get that out there because a lot of people don't understand how this works. And some of this stuff is not for the average consumer. And no. And let's see. So this is the reason why you have 3 different price points here for computers, period. And I know I'm on the Microsoft website, but you're not doing photoshopping and you're not doing high-end video editing and stuff like that on a Surface 3. You're not doing that with an Atom processor. You're not doing gaming on this. You can't game on a Surface 3. Now, you could try to go to stream games and stuff like that and try to do some very low-end gaming on a Surface 3. Now, if you go into the Microsoft store and you get games, you could do that on a Surface 3. But you're not doing Call of Duty on this. You're not doing, all kinds of high Halo and all that stuff. You're not doing that on a Surface 3. I mean, hell, you could barely do it on a Surface Pro 3. Look, I got a Surface Pro 3 with the i5 processor in it, with 256 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, and I can't. Look, I try to do video. I do all my video edit. I mean, it works great. But I mean, the thing is hot like a son of a gun. You're not doing this type of stuff on these devices. You have to have something here that will push stuff to the limit. You need those dedicated GPUs. You need a high-end processor. You need all this stuff to work, and you definitely not doing it like that. All right. Got another comment. Can you give me an example of one rather than a laptop? All right. So, um, let's see. So you have, and let's see here, and Alienware is usually your PCs that a lot of gamers use when you're talking about gaming, um, and a lot of people always go to the game like Newegg, and they like to build their PCs and stuff like that. But um, I mean, it up to you. I mean, AMD. I like Intel when I'm doing gaming stuff like that. So a lot of people that build, they like to go to newegg.com and they like to order all their parts from Newegg. Look, let me go back to that for a second. And it starts from $831. And if you go to customize, look, and I'm just using this for FYI. Um, you know, but usually your gaming desktops starts out at very, very expensive desktops. I mean, look, just say right here 674, and when you're saying i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, DDR3, 1 TB hard drive, NVIDIA GTX 960M with 2 gigs of memory. I mean, that's not bad. My only concern with a PC like this is that 8 gigs of RAM ain't gonna cut it, and I just don't see 8 gigs of RAM on a gaming PC. Now here we go. We got ASUS has one here, which is a Core i7, 3.6 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM with 2 TB hard drive. Look, you need a solid state drive. If I don't, well, it got the 128 solid state drive NVIDIA GTX 970, but 16 gigs of RAM, that's the almost the way to go. Now it gives you 2 hard drives here. You get 128 solid state drive. Solid state drive is the way to go. Yeah, I see in Windows 8.1, but obviously it's gonna probably be Windows 10. And here we got the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970 with 4 gigs of what right here GDR5. Now this will run games right here. And again, this is the starting price. Now, once you start adding stuff to it, then things go up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you definitely need the RAM and definitely need i7 processor. I don't see anything under, and these are the Intel Core i7K processors. These are not the U's, so these are the K's. So these are definitely the high end i7s. Again, 16 gigs of RAM, 120 SSD. So these are some of the gaming PCs. You have to do your research. And here's the thing: you definitely, if you're doing high-end gaming, you definitely need the RAM and stuff like that. But you definitely need the K processor if you're gonna do some high-end gaming. Now, I'm saying all this, and if you, the Black Cat, if you're doing low end gaming, that's something different. But if you're doing high end gaming, that's that's something that you definitely gonna have to get. I mean, if you go get a desktop computer, and look, this is the desktop. You got to remember these desktops doesn't come with monitors. So $14.99 starting off at $14.99, it doesn't come with a monitor. So you have to probably add another, 200. When I say 200, no. You're talking about $400-500 for a high end monitor, maybe higher than that. So we still at the $2,000 mark. So if you're going to buy a gaming laptop, a gaming PC, with a high res monitor and stuff like that, you go spend over $2,000. Here's the Alienware. It has the again, it's the 5820K, 16 gigs of DDR4. All right, 128 gig solid state drive. This is the Alienware. These are gaming PCs, and start at $2,700. And these are gaming PCs right here. And by the time you add the monitor and stuff like that, you're over $3,000. So they got the new little Alienware. Like I don't know about this one. I mean, 4 gigs of RAM. I mean, you're not the Core i3 processor. I think Alienware wanted to come out with something like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. So they came out with their little gaming PC with the joystick. But I mean, yeah, now you're not getting this for gaming, man. And this is a 500 gig hard drive. I mean, if you go get this, you might as well get a PS4 or Xbox One before you buy this. I would get this definitely. Okay. All right. So enough of that. I know I've been rambling off about that, but if you have any more questions, please leave it down in the comment down below. And we are about to wrap this up. I usually do this on on Mondays, maybe about a half an hour, but I like to hang around for comments and stuff like that. Hey, why not? And so let's go down and get us a fresh cup of coffee. And hopefully that answers some of the questions that you may have. Again, I have, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have what's called discussion. I have a whole discussion tab, which you can leave your comments of anything you want to discuss in the discussion tab, and I definitely will answer those questions. I even may do videos about it. So if you still have a lot of questions, I am more happy to answer those questions. And in the discussion area, or you can leave a comment down here after this get uploaded to YouTube. So, and I always answer every question, so that's no problem. You can answer even the craziest question you may think is crazy. I answer them anyway. All right, so we're gonna end this video. Usually I try to keep it about an hour, but definitely keep it locked to Easy Computer Solution. I got plenty videos coming out this week. I got the my 1 month review here with the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Watch the Note 5 video. You're gonna be ecstatic about the Note 5 1 month review. You're gonna like it. It's different. It's the truth. A lot of people don't like it. It's the truth. So keep it locked to Easy Computer Solution, guys. This is Eric. I'm signing off. Y'all have a good day, a good week, and hopefully we'll win Thursday night. But stay on the lookout for all them videos. Peace.